In this series, we'll be taking a look at the squat. One of my favorite lower body exercises. It is a phenomenal exercise for improving hip mobility and developing strength in the legs as well as muscle hypertrophy, getting those muscles nice and beefy. What we're going to do to start is place a kettlebell directly below us as we would during the deadlift. We want to make sure that the laces of our shoes are in line with the handle of the kettlebell. From there, what we're going to do is brace our midsection, hinge our hips back, hook the handle of the kettlebell with our hands, and then pack our lats. It's very similar to how we set ourselves up for the kettlebell deadlift. From there, what we're going to do is take a little bit of air in through our lungs, then drive the floor away. Imagine that you're going to leg press the floor, driving ourselves up into that standing position. As you start to stand, we're going to pull up with the elbows and clean the bell up into the rack position. Your hands to transition from the top of the bell to the horns of the kettlebell from here. Next, what we're going to do is adjust our stance just a little bit so that our feet are about hip width apart. Your toes want to be turned out. They can be turned out up to 30 degrees of external rotation. From there, I'm going to broaden my collarbones and pull my shoulders down and back to further engage my lats. I'm going to get a nice tight midsection. Then I'm going to take some air in through my lungs. Brace the core. Then we're going to begin our descent into the squat. You want to imagine that you're pulling yourself down to the bottom of the squat. Your knees are going into flexion, almost as if you're pulling them up towards your chest. From there, to get ourselves out of the bottom of the squat, we're going to give a little grunt, and then bring ourselves up to the top. We're going to repeat that process again, making sure our collarbones stay nice and broad, our shoulders are pulled down away from our ears, take a little bit of air in through your lungs, brace your core, and then begin your descent. Lower yourself down to the bottom of the squat with control. Remember, think about bringing your knees up to your chest. Once the top of my hip crease reaches my knee or goes just below my knee, we're going to give a little grunt, and then bring ourselves back up. We can release the air once we're at the top of the squat, but then we want to bring some air back into our lungs, making sure that we pressurize our midsection and it's nice and stable. We can repeat this process for 5 reps and do 3 sets. I like to practice this over and over again. Squats are a phenomenal exercise to do as a warm-up with lighter weights or as your prime movement. So that is a complete goblet squat.